The decline in the number of Chinese population is too fast, and the decline in absolute numbers is too fast. There are 3 reasons for this. The first is called not allowing. The second is called not actively marrying, and the third is called not active birth. It is not allowed. This reason is caused by 30 years. Everyone knows it is called family planning. The historical reasons lead to a long time. We started to encourage childbearing, but we don't get married at this time. Why don't we get married? Because of the 30-year reform and opening up from 2010, 1980 to 2010, economic construction was the center, and everything was based on money, so everyone's values were confused. So at that time, only the rich and the rich were eligible for marriage. To get married, power and money, power must also be a key point of money rent seeking, and become the most important factor in marriage. If you have no rights and no money by yourself, your qualifications for marriage will become very weak, very weak, very weak. And the entire marriage structure of society will develop into a marriage composed of power and money. Think about it. Everyone, among the 100 married people you know around you, think about it. Are there 10 people who came together because of love? I said it was true and pure love, not because of money or power. Yes, if this person has no money and rights, and is naked because of love. Can he get married in China? In the Western world, frankly speaking, among the 100 couples I know, 90 couples have nothing to do with money and rights. Marriage is because of love. It is love. How many people around you in China get married not because of money, not because of power, but because of love? Go and see for yourself, if you find that there are not many people around you. We found that without money and power, it would be difficult for us to get married. Then you have to think about it at this time. The more upward the city, the first tier and second tier cities, the more obvious the situation of rights and marriage. Some people say why you don't get married because of power or money. You can't stay. You can't live. You don't have a house. You don't have anything. You have to walk for 4 hours in the morning to work, and you have to walk for 4 hours to and from work. Then look at what kind of environment this is. Yes, so sometimes my wife and I both work in the same company, and we both earn about the same amount. Yes, you and your wife both work in the same company. And the working environment of the two of you is not the same. Yes, earn about the same, and we only got married together. If he is poor and has nothing, then what kind of conditions do you two get along with? So think about it. The more upward the city is, isn't it? And then the downward. Just don't have children. Don't get married and don't have children. Why can't this population be reduced? What is the fertility rate in China now? China's 2012 fertility rate, which is the data of our national government. The actual birth rate of more than half of the provinces fell to 0.8 and below last year. What is the concept below 0.8? A normal couple needs to have 2.3 children. And the society can continue to be 0.3 children. Why is it prepared for the death rate of premature death and accidental death? If you two can grow up, it happens that 2 people raise 2 people. The society has continued, so the fertility rate in China has dropped below 1, let alone 2.3. On average, there is not even 1 child born to a couple. Can you imagine how fast this kind of pyramid will fall? There is one very important reason. In the West, even in many developing countries, you will find that after a child is born, the country has to bear a lot of things. Money, time, responsibility, for the upbringing and education of children. In China, these things are all dumped to the individual. And if you dump it to the individual, the state will not bear anything. So what happened at this time? I was joking at that time. I said that for one child, the state subsidizes 10,000 yuan a month. And for another child, another 10,000 yuan is subsidized. If you look at China, do you have any children? At least everyone at the bottom will have children. What can the country do? If the country can't do it, if there is any money, there must be money. Let's talk about where the problem is in a moment. From a long-term perspective, is this an extremely important issue? When people in a country start to stop getting married and start not having children, some people tell me that Mr. Chen will still marry and have children in the future. Look at the numbers. Just look at the data, right? Go and ask if there is such a hospital in the local area, and ask the doctors in the hospital. In recent years, many large hospitals have cancelled obstetrics and gynecology, and there are even no hospitals with special obstetrics and gynecology. Then go ask your local primary school. In the past, maybe there were 10 primary schools in a county, but now it has become one primary school. Why? Because no one is left, no one is having children, right? Let's take a look at the real data around us. These things can best help you see related problems. Isn't that right? How serious is this problem? This question is too scary, because the base of China's population decline. What is the speed of decline caused by? As a result, this country and nation will perish. Have you ever thought that if this situation continues, and according to the current situation, our ratio will continue very quickly, how many years? I will tell you 20 years, and 20 years according to the current marginal benefits, is to achieve marginal benefits, that is, it is called critical benefits. In 20 years and 20 years, due to the sharp decline and shrinkage of the population in China, it will not rise, grow, become confused, and faint. There is nothing before there are too many changes. There will be a huge danger of extinction in this country and this nation. Of course, will it be true? It may be difficult to be true. Why? Because the Chinese are running all over the world. We don't stay in China, but we can have more children and raise more children in other lands, right? Many people in foreign countries have multiple children. Of course, we will talk about this in a while. Then this is a particularly important issue. It is an extremely important issue. From the current perspective, according to the current state of the country, there is no such possibility of change, not much possibility of change. So, then this is a direct scene that we can see. There is no way. No one of us can change it. This big thing. Is there any effective small way? I will talk about it later. The second is the problem of population structure. At present, the population of our society as a whole is getting smaller and smaller. Looking at the gender problem of the population, it is also very scary. Between 20 and 20 for 40-year-old Chinese. If you look at the data on the internet, there are more than 20 million more men than women. That is to say, in fact, these 20 million people cannot find a fixed wife. In theory, even if women are married, if many women are not married, there will be more men in China who cannot find a partner in their lives. That is to say, when you come out as a bachelor. It is scary to think about it. After you come out as a bachelor, you will be bald all your life. This is a terrible thing. Many women in these high-end cities are less and less married. For many high-end women, just in Beijing and Shanghai, according to an incomplete survey some time ago, there are more than 1 million young girls who are not working at all. These girls don't work, but they eat well, drink well, eat, drink and have fun every day. They take photos and post videos everywhere. Circle of friends, Xiaohongshu. What do they rely on? Relying on selling laughs and selling bodies goes too far. Shanghai is called Mingyuan Chuan, and Beijing is called Beizawan Girl. I didn't know it before, but now I know it. You can check it out. Because Beijing and Shanghai are two cities with developed productivity. As for money, there are more men, stronger spending power, and a lot of luxury goods are sold. So, everyone knows that there are a lot of people showing off their wealth online. In these two cities, there are so many men who can't find a partner. Think about it. There are so many more men than women, so there are especially many girls. Advantage, right? You sing and dance on the internet, and privately tip this and that with the first brother. The first brother, the second brother, the third brother, and even more things. It's okay. Now there are more than 1 million girls who don't do anything in these two cities, eat hot drinks, play videos every day, so they live their lives like this anyway. They are completely men to a certain extent, of course. It will be quite difficult for these girls to get married in the future. Because this is where their vision is. Those who are not in good condition will be with him, and they will look down on him, but they will grow older. But his mentality, you may not be able to let it go. What about the girl who can only bear the good conditions by herself? Look at your own economic conditions. But for a real unmarried boy with good conditions, how much room do you have for him to choose? She may not be able to choose you. According to this, some of this kind of girls are there is no single one, and there are more and more single men. This kind of social deformity is getting more and more serious. Think about it. If a person can't find a friend, can't find a partner, and then he lives in this society, he will live for a lifetime, for so many years. What do you think? Feeling